Assalamu alaikum, I'm Aisha and you're watching Samaa News. Here are today's headlines. Advisor to Iran's supreme leader, Ali Shamkhani, has said, according to state media, that Iran's missile capabilities are its red line and are not a subject to be negotiated, as Tehran and Washington eye a new round of talks to avert conflict. US and Iranian diplomats held indirect talks last week in Oman, amid a regional naval build-up by the US threatening Iran. Iran has said it is prepared to discuss curbs on its nuclear program in return for the lifting of sanctions. US President Donald Trump has said that after talks with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, they reached no definitive agreement on how to move forward with Iran. But he insisted negotiations with Tehran would continue to see if a deal can be achieved. Netanyahu, who had been expected to press Trump to widen diplomacy with Iran beyond its nuclear program to include limits on its missile arsenal, stressed that Israel's security interests must be taken into account, but offered no sign that the president made the commitments he sought. A female teacher has died in southern Thailand's Hat Yai district after a gunman opened fire at a school where she worked. The provincial administration said on social media that a 17-year-old used a firearm stolen from a police officer to shoot the teacher, identified as Sasipat Sinsamosorn, at the Patong Pratan Kiriwat school in Songkhla province's Hat Yai district on Wednesday, before being detained by police. A female student was also shot. Information about her condition has not yet been released. Bangladeshis have lined up outside polling stations as voting began in a landmark general election, the first since the 2024 overthrow of longtime Premier Sheikh Hasina in a Gen Z-driven uprising. With more than 127 million eligible voters, the election is widely seen as a decisive moment for the South Asian nation of 175 million. Voting is being held in 299 out of 300 constituencies, after polling was postponed in one seat due to the death of a candidate. Direct elections are being conducted for 300 seats in Parliament, while 50 seats remain reserved for women. The suspect in a deadly school shooting in Western Canada has been identified as an 18-year-old woman with mental health issues who killed her mother and stepbrother before attacking her former school. But investigators do not offer a motive for one of the worst mass slaughters in Canadian history. Police said the killer, whom police identified as Jesse Van Rootselaar, died by suicide after the shooting on Tuesday in Tumbler Ridge. Police revised the death toll down to 9, including Van Rootselaar, from the initially reported 10. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu met US Secretary of State Marco Rubio in Washington ahead of his talks with President Donald Trump. Netanyahu signed on to Trump's Board of Peace and is expected to push for tougher US demands in upcoming nuclear discussions with Iran, including limits on Tehran's missile program. That's all for now. For more updates, visit www.samaa.tv. Thank you for watching Samaa News.